Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you that buttons don't always have to look the same and have the default styling. In Visual Composer you can do all sorts of little tweaks to make buttons fit exactly into the layout that you want. So we're going to be creating this cool looking button group right here that can be used in all sorts of cases, but in this case you can click one side for sign in, the other one to register. To start, we need a site and Visual Composer. I usually develop my sites on IndieStack since it allows me to create sites really fast. The setting up is super quick. And from Visual Composer, all I need is the button group element, which is a premium element, but not to worry. The good thing about IndieStack is that you can get Visual Composer Premium from there as well. Okay, let's jump into the tutorial. So here's the page that I showed you before, but without the button. So first things first, we have to add the button group element. Here it is. Let's align it in the center. First things first, we want both of the buttons to look the same. So let's delete this one and let's clone this button. So now we have to remove the gap. We can do it here in the button group settings. Here we have the gap. Let's make it 0. And let's start working on the individual buttons. To edit an individual button, simply hover over it, and here you'll see the green controls, and those are for the individual elements. So let's click on edit right here. Change the text. So the first one was sign in. Let's start by changing the color to this beautiful salmon pink. And let's go over to the next button. That's our register button. And the same color. So what we have to do now is add a little bit of separation between the buttons. And we can achieve that by adding a border. And let's open the edit settings here. And here in the design options, you can add a border. 1 pixel will do the trick. And what you can do also is change the border color. So let's make it the same color, but a little darker. Awesome. All right, now to the next step. I want to change up the shape of the button group a little bit. Technically, what you would do here is choose another shape, right? But that wouldn't work for this example. We just want one side to be rounded. So let's keep it squared right here. And again, let's go to the handy design options, and there's the border radius option right here. And if we choose, for example, 50 pixels at the top and at the bottom, now the button is perfectly rounded on only one side. So let's do the exactly same thing for the other button. All right, now it's perfectly rounded. You can, of course, make the radius a little bit smaller. Let's say if it's 10 pixels, it will be more square, but just the corners round a little bit. That's all a personal preference for you. All right, we could stop here. There's another thing you can do to make a button fit better into your layout. You can manipulate the padding, and what would that do? It would change the size of your button. For example, let's change it to 20 here. As you can see, it shrunk a little bit. So if we do that for the other button as well, now it's just a little smaller. And you can make it as wide as you want, all here with the padding from the design options. So the last step to make the buttons functional, just scroll up here and add a URL wherever you want the button to lead. It can also actually trigger a pop-up if that's something you want, but these are the options that you have. And of course, you can do it individually for each button. And the last tip I can tell you about buttons is that if you want to change the font for the button, you can't do it here from the front-end editor, but you can use our font manager. And I will leave a little card up here if you want a tutorial on how to use that. And that's it for this quick tutorial. A little reminder, these are the buttons that we just made. And now that we've gone through the whole process together, you can jump into the editor and start playing with buttons yourself. Give us a like if you want to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you all on the next one.